Okay, my name is Valerie Pugsley. If you don't know me, I am here with friend and client Melissa Goff, and she is taking a course that I'm doing right now. So first of all, let me just, Melissa and I met did we meet? I think we met through 48 Days Eagles or
Yes, with Dan Miller.
okay. Yeah, we met there with Dan Miller first in Eagles, but then we were also involved in an e-commerce community as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Melissa, why don't you just do a quick introduction of yourself? Tell people, kind of what your stage of life is or what day to day looks like for you. What is it that you're pursuing in life right now?
Okay. I homeschool my 7-year-old son, my only child. Just came off the road from full-time RVing for 3 years, and I'm reestablishing some roots and learning, just really learning how to navigate parenthood with grace and joy. That's kind of my biggest focus right now.
hmm I love it. I love it. Grace and joy. It's funny that you say that because when I do coaching with clients, I use the phrases grace and curiosity a lot. So I love that. I love that. So we were having a conversation about something totally unrelated. I think printables we were having a conversation about. And you asked how you could help me. And I mentioned that I was working on a certification for a mental fitness tool that I'm adding to my coaching toolkit. And as I was sharing that, you were like, your interest was piqued. So tell us what was kind of going on in your head when I shared that. You automatically wanted to get on board. And what was it that you were hoping to get? And what was it that you were looking for in that when we first started?
Mhm. Well, I was a massage therapist for 15 years and a yoga instructor currently. And I have always been interested in fitness and natural health and have focused a lot on that aspect of life and helping others as well. And also have been over really my whole life, but especially over the past year and a half, have also been doing a lot of digging deep into emotional and
Mhm.
mental health. And when you use the term mental fitness, that completely piqued my interest and just was so in line with what I have been thinking about recently that we teach our students phys ed in school, and we really focus on nutrition and other things like that in maybe, self-help circles, but we don't really teach each other how to stay mentally fit. And just that
Mhm.
term was so interesting to me. And I loved the idea of taking all the things that we read in books, all the things we try to understand and learn about ourselves and why we act the way we do, and turning it into a fitness thing that you can actually do and
Mhm.
turn your knowledge into action in order to see actual results in your mental fitness. It
Awesome.
just was for me a no-brainer, like, yes, sign me up, let's try this.
Got it. Got it. So have you gotten any results? When, like I said, we're not all the way through even yet. We still have a couple more weeks to go. But what results have you seen so far in your either in your mental fitness or as a result of the mental fitness?
So the exercises that we do in the very beginning felt a little forced or jolting because they weren't what I was used to. So I'm used to
Mhm.
going for a walk or doing yoga or different things like that. But the actual exercises we do are very different. And so it it got me into having better habits of how to pay attention to what's going on in the moment. And over time, even though it's only been a few weeks, there is a very marked difference in how I approach challenges. So just by being able to use the exercises that you've been teaching in difficult moments, which we all have them in parenting, but even ones that are unexpected, any kind of unexpected thing, to be able to come
Mhm.
back to that skill of being able to get in touch with where we are emotionally and mentally and make a different choice for how I respond has been phenomenal.
Awesome. So you would say then the exercises have helped you be able to actually respond and make a choice versus just reacting and doing the autopilot thing that you would have done previously.
Exactly. Or
Hmm.
catching myself when I am reacting in
Hmm.
a way I don't want to react,
Hmm.
being able to come back to center much more quickly and
Hmm.
back to how I would rather respond and
Hmm.
doing a
Yeah.
do-over.
Do over. I love it. I love it. So has it affect things either in terms of relationships or how you're getting things done during the day? Has it changed any of that?
I would say I can see a difference in how my son is responding to me. I
Hmm.
feel like that there's a better bond and more trust as he sees that I am able to respond more calmly and
Hmm.
with more empathy. He's able to respond back to me. So that's the biggest difference at the moment. There have been a few more intense things that happened. I had to take him to the ER and we had never had to do that before. And I was able to walk through that experience with calmness and process it afterwards in a very present way. So I definitely know that that is a result of the work we've been doing too.
Hmm. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Your son's going to be so lucky that you've been doing all of this. He's going to be so blessed, right?
Well, I'm the
Yeah.
lucky one too, because I know that, God didn't give me a child in order for it to just feel like difficulty and stress all the
Hmm.
time. I know that it is a relationship that can be positive and
Hmm.
enjoyable for both of us and my husband as well, of course. So it feels good to start to have some tools
Hmm.
to allow me to do the parenting that I want to do.
Hmm. That's amazing. And as you get to use these tools more, I've heard many people who start using it with their kids too and helping them to start seeing it early on and catch their saboteurs early. So
For
he's
sure.
going to get a windfall two ways. So that's amazing. So if others were thinking about doing this, well, first of all, would you recommend others take this? And if so, why would you recommend it?
Absolutely. I would recommend it for anyone that is ready and has been maybe at a place of frustration of knowing what they want to do differently or knowing even why they're acting the way they're acting, but they just don't feel like they can change. They've, someone that's ready to change, but just needs tools and that coaching, that weekly check-in to actually take the action to make it happen. And these exercises are actually changing the brain. And when you're just trying to take knowledge from a book or
Mhm.
a podcast or whatever, and you're trying to change because of the knowledge, your brain is working against you because you
Mhm.
have those inset habits.
Mhm.
And so this class is for anyone who's ready to just to have the tools to overcome that and to
Mhm.
actually change the brain. And through proven, he's a scientist, is that right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So using scientifically proven exercises to help overcome the brain
Mhm.
patterns.
Mhm.
And it is a lifetime shift. So once you have these and learn them,
Mhm.
um, even once the class is over, I'm going to be able to continue using those
Mhm.
exercises and going back to them and shifting as my challenges in life shift and my seasons of
Mhm.
life shift. It's something that you can't unknow and unlearn. So you're able
Mhm.
to always keep going back to them.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And just to clarify, no, he's not actually a scientist, but he has a degree in engineering and he also has a degree in psychology. And
Okay.
so he's meshed these two things together. So he's used his engineering knowledge to kind of dissect and analyze the psychology piece. So it's an interesting mix to see how he's done it. And he's combining, like you said, the knowledge, but with this tool using these exercises, he uses an app. So it's a combination of knowledge, coaching, and an app. It's not just, it's a trifecta almost, right?
Mhm.
And so I think that that also is where a lot of the benefit is. So that's great. That's a good analogy. If you're ready for change, or you know where you need to change, but it's not happening, then that's who you would recommend this to.
Mhm.
And then is there anything else you would like to add, or anything else you think people need to know, either about the program or about myself or anything?
I would say that I tend to like to do things on my own. I like just getting a class and digging in at my own pace. But going through it with the way you have it set up, where
Mhm,
you are coaching us through and we meet weekly, that is vital, I think, to the success of it. Um, I appreciate that you are encouraging. So within the app, when we're checking in, um, to have you respond and know where we are. If we run into any questions, you're there to help us.
mhm,
I personally have had a few questions, just clarification on some of
mhm,
the exercises, and getting your response right away from you who have taken the training and you
mhm,
know the program in and out is, I think, vital to the success of understanding how it all works. And
mhm.
um,
Yeah.
so thank you, Valerie. You are you are so helpful in this, and
Mhm,
I can see that you have a love for helping people, and
mhm,
that you have seen the transformation in your life.
mhm,
And so when I'm kind of staggering a little bit or struggling, you're there to tell me it works. Keep going with it, and it helps to
mhm.
hear your stories too.
Oh, thank you. Well, and you're doing amazing. You're doing very, very well in it. But you're right. We're not, especially now with Zoom and everybody's used to being alone. It's so easy to cut ourselves off from everything else and not deal with things, or think we're dealing with it, but we're really not. And you and I both believe we were designed by a designer, and that designer didn't design us to be doing things alone. So having a group of people to go through, which actually we didn't even touch on this call, but the way the program is designed is that you go through with a group of other people all at the same time, so that you can support each other in it. And so that's another beauty of the program. So if you don't want to go it alone and you want some change, Melissa says you ought to take this course. So thank you so
100%.
much. Thank you so much, Melissa, for getting on this call and sharing your feedback on it, so others can make a decision that will help them
Oh,
get some of the same results that you've gotten.
my pleasure. Thank you.